guys, Coach Gaglione here. This is another edition of our Gags Goals Update. We're calling this video Subtotal Sunday. Today I had to squat and bench just because of I'm going this at the time of this taping. I'm going this weekend to visit my friends in the Bell family, Mark Bell, Chris Bell, and a host of other characters at the Super Training Classic in Sacramento. Last year I helped out, did a little commentating. This year I decided to kind of just throw my hat in a little bit. I'm going to do the push-pull with a slingshot and do a conventional deadlift. For those of you that have been watching the series, if you watched my Road to 220 series, in November I competed at I keep saying that, Slingshot Record Breakers. It used to be called Reebok Record Breakers, but Slingshot Record Breakers. Had a really good squat, decent deadlift, and ended up hurting my shoulder. Just for whatever reason, the bench did not warm up, and the lifts itself did not go good. I ended up hurting my shoulder a little bit on my second attempt and really hurt it pretty badly. Had some bleeding out and stuff, some bruising. Just nothing completely torn, but it was enough that I was not able to bench 135 without pain. With the help of Dr. Albury and others, I've been able to get a lot of my raw strength back. I was able to do 315 for a couple of reps the other day, and so I wanted to kind of enter the slingshot Super Training Classic meet just to kind of help bring up my slingshot bench a little bit, to kind of force my bottom end strength up a little bit, so I could work on my raw bench a little bit as well as the slingshot. The slingshot training I always found, is a good carryover to my shirted bench. And then since I've lost a lot of the weight, again, for those of you this is your first time stopping by, I'm down well over 100 pounds. I've been as heavy as 340 pounds, and today I weighed 230. 230 and some, point 0.8, 0.9. So I've been consistently under 235 in the morning. My goal by the end of 2019 is to get down to the 198 weight class. As it looks like right now, I'm more and more kind of leaning towards just continuing to lean out, continuing to get healthier, but slowing down, pumping the brakes a little bit. Because and we'll talk about it in this video, my training is going well. I had a little hiccups being sick last week. It's 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago now. Sometimes things are a blur. Things are happening very fast here at Gaglione Strength. But anyway, so I want to kind of bring up some of my weak points. So I want to kind of bring up my conventional deadlift a little bit, bring up my slingshot bench. And although I'm not really peaking for the contest, I am going to take like a day or two off, mainly just because of traveling. So I kind of had to squeeze in some of my workouts a little bit this week, so everything's getting pushed forward a little bit. I elected to squat and bench equipped on this day, and I don't think I've done that really in a while, if ever. Maybe once or twice in my past 13 years of powerlifting training and competing. I typically like, especially equipped, it's very taxing on the body. If it's an accessory movement or one thing like that, I usually try to save my max effort work and my gear practice, my equipped training on separate days. But anyway, it ended up being a really good day. Hit personal records on both lifts at this body weight, so I'm very happy about that. The most important thing that I was really proud of was getting back over an 800-pound squat. I haven't hit an 800-pound squat in training in quite some time. Probably the last time I've squatted over 800 in training was probably 2017. The last time I squatted really heavy, not heavy in training, I squatted 900 pounds pretty handily, but I was still in the super heavyweight category for that particular. That was like right before my weight loss, so I did a 900-pound squat in training, and then I did a 1,000-pound partial squat, and that was right before I started to really commit to my weight loss journey. I wanted to kind of give one last hurrah and just kind of have 1,000 pounds in my back, but that's a story for another day. So today, my goal was to work up to around a second attempt, and then potentially a reverse band third. But everything was moving really good. My unracks did not feel great for whatever reason. I think because I took my stance out a little bit wider. So I'm going to need to work on my pick a little bit, my pick out of the monolift. That's one of the things that people don't realize a lot of times for multiply lifters. Even though you're in a wide stance, the wider you go, it makes the unrack a lot more challenging. So I know with myself, I prefer to bring the bar a little bit higher on my back. And then, right now I'm using the metal canvas, and the straps are pretty thick. So it makes it kind of hard to feel where the bar is on your back. That's one of the reasons why, if you watch a lot of the newer lifters or the newer equipment from Inzer, the Leviathan Ultra Pro, which I probably will try at some point because it seems like everyone in their mom is wearing the Ultra Pro that's doing a multiply. The straps are a lot thinner, So that allows you to feel the bar a lot easier on your back. So that was probably one of the disadvantages of just the pure canvas suit, even though it's got a ton of stopping power. And a lot of the all-time world records have still been done in canvas. It seems like the Ultra Pro is a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to get positioned for the pick, because you can feel the straps are a little bit thinner. You can feel the weight on your back a little bit easier. So that's kind of some differences between the actual canvas and the black, the white canvas material and Inzer Leviathan Ultra Pro. So that's the difference between the classic Leviathan canvas and the Leviathan Ultra Pro. So anyways, so today felt really good, and even though I weighed in lighter, my squats felt really fantastic. My buddy Nick was wrapping me really well today, and I'm really thankful for him and everyone else, and Jose and everyone that helped out to spot me today. I feel very blessed, and people say this all the time, like #blessed, but I am truly grateful that I had people spotting me and making sure I'm safe, because something like 800 pounds is no joke, and I would not want to take it up by myself. So anyway, I worked up to 695, which will be around my last warm-up. I plan on warming up to around 700 pounds or so. I plan on opening around 735, 745 in that range. My last geared session, I worked up to 735, so I just wanted to hit a 10-pound record. So even 745 is actually a PR at this weight, and I believe I actually hit a better depth on this day than previous. Not to say that things could be a little bit better, but I felt like I was hitting at a minimum at least parallel. And if the judging is similar to how the geared lifting has kind of gone in the past, I feel very confident that I will continue to get my squats passed at the contest. So obviously, depth in a squat suit is always going to be something people need to work on, just because you have so much stopping power in the canvas. That being said, so 745 went up really smooth. Again, the unracks didn't really feel great, but I felt like I was blasted out of the cannon. So I elected to go 775. At this point, like I said, the 745 was already a PR at this weight. So 775 would basically tie what I did last meet. I did 777 my last contest, and it moved pretty comfortably. I felt like it moved even better in training this time around. And last time in training, I only squatted, I want to say 750 in training. So the fact that I'm already kind of past those numbers, I'm kind of ahead of the game, especially in the squat department, so I'm very happy about that. So 775 went really well, which is probably just under a second attempt for me. So I elected to, I wanted to just put on 800 on the bar. As I mentioned before, or I might have mentioned before, so last weekend I was coaching one of our lifters and former intern, Louis Baum, he won Best Lifter at the Gear Resurgence meet. He was pound for pound the strongest. He totaled over 9 times body weight, and he won nearly $1,000 in cash. Just not a bad payday for a multiply lifter. And he did really well. He had a PR total, he had a PR bench, and a PR deadlift to secure the victory. And it got me a little fired up. I got a little amped up, and I saw a lot of big squats, some nice benches, some good deadlifts, and good really solid totals. A lot of totals over 2,000, especially at a local meet. And the geared lifting was pretty darn clean. So I was pretty excited to see that gear is kind of coming back. So shout out to Mike Skiba and Hellbent Barbell for kind of putting that together. We're definitely looking forward. So if you guys are interested, if you're in the Northeast. If you're in the Connecticut area, you should definitely check out Hellbent Barbell if you're interested in learning gear. And obviously, if you're in the Long Island area, New York area, if you want to learn gear, you should definitely check out Gaglione Strength. We're getting more and more geared lifters in the Northeast, so I'm excited about that. So stay tuned for information. We'll definitely be supporting the Gear Resurgence meet in the future, and as well as sending our athletes there. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's cool that the equipped lifters are having an opportunity to compete at a local level. There's actually true competition. There's actually money on the line, things on the line. So that's pretty cool. So just a little side note for that. If you're in the Northeast area, you should definitely check those gyms out and be on the lookout for a Geared Resurgence meet number 2. Whether we do that once or twice a year, I don't know, but we'll definitely do that sometime next year as well. We did that at the RPS North Americans in the end of January, so we'll probably end up doing something similar around the same time. So squats went really well. I was really pumped. 800, it was a little bit, I bobbled a little bit. I definitely need to get my upper back stronger. I think if I get my upper back stronger, then the squats will go really well this time. I definitely should be due for a PR at 220, and I would like to get, like I said, I'm really happy to be back over the 800-pound mark again. Ultimately, I would love to hit like a 4 times body weight squat at some point, whether that's 800 at 198 or 880 at 220. Kind of a bucket list goal for me. But so I'm gaining more confidence that that's definitely possible in the future. So anyways, at that point I kind of scrambled. I had a Lenny's and Larry's cookie intra-workout to kind of get me going. What I'm going to be doing this meet, and I had some issues last meet with getting my opener in and things like that. So I'm electing to potentially use 2 shirts at this contest, or at the very least bring 2 shirts. I have an older black bench shirt that's a little bit looser on me, and I can basically touch like something like 405 in. So my plan is to potentially open in my black Phenom, and then which is my black bench shirt. It's one of my older bench shirts. I did actually bench 575 in that shirt, but I benched 575 in that shirt at super heavyweight. So obviously I'm a lot lighter now. I'm 100 pounds lighter, so the shirt's very loose on me. I could almost put it on myself basically. I did get the arms pinched a little bit, but obviously it's a really big shirt. So I was able to hit 405 to a 1 board with that shirt. And then I hit a PR in that shirt at this body weight. I hit a PR 455 to a half board. A couple of weeks ago I did that 440. So that was a 15-pound PR at this body weight in that bench shirt. And then after that, I elected to put my red Phenom on, which is a little bit tighter in the arms and a little bit tighter in the chest plate. I wasn't able to kind of get the shirt up all the way yet with the adjustments I made. That shirt was super loose on game day at Slingshot Record Breakers. It was kind of digging into where the injury was a little bit, so I panicked a little bit. As you can see, I kind of bobbled it in the bottom, but I was able to push up 485 to a 1 board, which again is the most I've handled. It's not a PR in this shirt. I want to say I think 520 is my PR in that shirt. Maybe a little bit. I was maybe weighing a little bit heavier, maybe 5 or 10 pounds more. So I need to kind of continue to get stronger in my bench. But that being said, the fact that I'm pain-free, and like I said, I kind of panicked a little bit just because it was putting some pressure on where my injury was. But everything feels fine. Everything is good. I was able to hit down sets, so nothing. I probably just need to be a little more cautious and pump the brakes a little bit, especially when I get into the red Phenom shirt. But if nothing else, I could just continue to practice in the looser shirt. And if I have to sacrifice a little pounds on the bench and make up ground on the squat and deadlift, I will do so. Finished up with some close grip board pressing in the slingshot, and then I did some belt squatting today. I plan on doing another deadlift session before the Super Training Classic. And I'll probably do like another slingshot. So I'll probably do an equipped deadlift session and then a slingshot session. And then I'll be off to lovely Sacramento. So stay tuned for updates on that. I thank you guys for watching. I know that was a mouthful, but I was really excited to squat 800 pounds once again. It's again 800 at 230, equipped, raw, whatever. I'm definitely proud of that lift, especially with all that I have going on, all the travel that we have going on. So training is going to be a little hectic. Again, we have, I'm going to Sacramento this weekend. I'm going to Virginia the following weekend. We got the Arnold coming up. I've got one of our guys getting married. It's going to get cray-cray up in here. So sometimes you just got to, again, call an audible. Sometimes you got to adjust training. But as long as you find a way to get it done, find a way to get it in, that's the most important thing. So thank you guys for watching on my road to 198. It's going to be a long and hard road. But I'm continuing to try to get leaner and stronger. Definitely check out the links below. If you like the videos, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and I'll see you soon.